Today we're going to be solving remove duplicates from sorted array in Python on Leetcode. It gives us this example here of this array 1, 1, 2. And once we process it, it will become 1, 2. What's the length of 1, 2? 2. That's what we see here. So let's take a look at our high-level function. What do we want to do as a theoretical concept? So let's say we have our array here, nums, and it's going to be 1, 1, 2, 3. Now remember, what we want to do is return the length of the processed array. So let's get rid of that 1 and return the length. So it's going to be 3 in the end, but let's take a look at how we're going to achieve that. We're going to solve this problem by using a 2-pointer system. So our first pointer, I want that to point at the first element to start out with. Our second pointer, j, I also want that to start at our first element. And I'm just going to keep track of an index on paper, but this is not going to be in the code. So what I is going to do is it's going to go over our entire array, and j is only going to increment once we see a unique value. Okay, so let's dive in. J and I are pointing to the same number, so this cannot be a unique value of any kind. So what we want to do is ignore and move on. So I've incremented I. Now we're going to do our check. The number that I is pointing to, is that different from the number that j is pointing to? They're both 1, so no. Again, we're going to ignore, we're going to move on. Here's where it gets interesting. 2 is not 1. So remember, j increments once we find a unique value. So we're going to move that up here. What we want to do is we want to change the number that j is pointing to the number that I is pointing to. So we're going to make 1 go to 2. Great. So now what we want to do is move on. We want to say I is pointing to element 3. And we're going to say 2 and 3. Are these the same? They're not the same. 3 is a unique element. So we're going to increment j. And then we're going to change the number that j is pointing to, and we're going to set it equal to the number that I is pointing to. So 2 is going to become 3. So we have our array 1, 2, 3, 3. Okay? But the thing is, I just terminated it, reached the end of our array. Now remember, the problem asks us to return the length of our processed array. And what we know is that 1, 2, 3 is our processed array. Our pointer j is pointing at 2, and we want it to be 3, right? So what we're actually going to return is j plus 1. If that makes sense. So what we're going to do is we're going to return 1 plus the index of the last element, and this is because we use a 0 element system. So let's take a look at what that happens on the code. So remember, we want to have a 2-pointer system. I'm going to keep my I in the for loop, so I'm going to actually initialize j, and then I'm going to begin my for loop. So this is my ith pointer, right? Now what I want to do is increment j once we see a unique element. So I want to check for a unique element, right? So I'm going to say our nums at our point I. If that doesn't equal our nums at our point j, then we're going to say we want to increment j, and then we want to set the number that j is equal to, and set that equal to the number that I is pointing to. Just like that. And remember at the end, because we have a 0 indexing system, we want to return j plus 1 to indicate the length of our processed array. So let's take a look. Let's see what the issue was. Oh, I forgot the if. Okay, so this should run. Okay. Sweet. Thanks for watching.